Hey guys, welcome back. And as you can see by today's topic, we will be passing arguments to methods. And I don't have a lot of time, but I'll try to get through this as quick as possible. But before we start, it's important that I just tell you that when you pass an argument to a method, the argument's data type must be assignment compatible with the receiving parameters type. Otherwise, an error will occur when you try to compile the code, and that causes frustrations. We all know that. Furthermore, you can pass only string arguments into string parameters, and you can pass int arguments into int parameters, but you cannot pass double or decimal arguments into int parameters. I hope that makes sense. You can pass either double or int arguments into double parameters, but you cannot pass decimal values into double parameters. That's logic. You can pass either decimal or int arguments to decimal parameters, but you cannot pass double arguments into decimal parameters. Good. Perfect. With that being said, let's start. The GUI, very simple. I'll show you how to do that in a second. We will need picture box, list box, button. There we go. So, two buttons. Let's just make this, there we go. List box, and this will be the size of the cards. However, they should be. Yes, don't worry about the GUI too much. We can always make that look nice. Sweet. Sweet. All right. Now, you have to declare your picture boxes and your buttons. You have to assign them a name. It's logic. We can all do this. But before we do this, I downloaded 3 pictures of some cards: an ace of spades, king of clubs, and a 10 of hearts. It'll be quite imperative that I just show you how to import them quickly. I saved mine under the desktop in a cards folder. There we go. So for the first one, let's use the ace. You'll see it looks a bit funky, which is fine. We'll just stretch it out. Let's center, stretch, yes. We will do the same for this guy. We'll call him 10, yes, and we'll stretch him out, and the same for our king. No. Yes, and we'll stretch that king out, boy. There we go, there we go. Now, this button will be called show card, and this is your default exit. Okay, now I like to start off with the easiest part. It gives me a bit of confidence to tackle the other easy part. all right, let's do this. So we will have, in this situation, we will have a main method, which I will start, but I won't finish it because we need three more methods of the remaining 3 cards. So I'll explain that in a moment too. So because these methods don't return anything, they'll be called private void. And the first one will be called show cards, and of course string, oh dear, string card. And let's call it card. Yes. All right. Now we can't do anything in it yet. You'll understand why in a moment. As for the next method, private void, let's call it show ace spades. Yes, that's a decent name. Right. So now for the easy part. This method refers to show ace spades. So every time I click on show ace, which I will enter in the list box now, it'll only show ace and not the other 2. If I click on the king, it'll show the king and not the other 2. So talking about that, let's just fill this in to prevent any confusion. So ace of spades, and then this one was 10 of hearts, and this guy was king of clubs. Yes, wonderful. So every time I click on ace of spades, the other two will disappear. That's the main purpose of this, just to give a brief demonstration of passing arguments to method. All right, let's do this. So, for the first, we call the show ace of spades. No, that's not what we want. That is definitely not what we want. This is what we want. Show, let's call it show ace. No. Ace, spade, 10 heart, and we'll call this guy king club. There we go. I just broke it. However, alright. Show a spades. So for a spade dot visible, which means every time I click on the list box, we want it to be true. Sorry. So a spade dot visible. Every time I click on the ace of spades and I click on the show card, it'll be visible. So now logically, I have to do the opposite of these two, because I do not want them to be visible every time I click on the ace of spades. So 10 heart dot visible will be false. Yes. And the king club dot visible equals false. It should not be anyway. That's your first method. Well done. Easy peasy. Now, copy paste. This guy we will call, let's call him show 10 hearts. Yes. So then therefore this goes to false, because we don't want the ace to show, we want the heart to show. That goes to true. And do the same for the third method. This guy we will call show king club, and this guy goes back to false, and king club goes back to true. Easy peasy. Alright, now every time I click on the show button, it'll run these, and we will have our nice display pictures. Okay, so first things first, if what did we call it? We call it list box 1. Just leave it as list box 1. No, we do not want list view, we want list.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Dot selected index is not equals to -1. The reason for this, list box 1 refers to this list box. Selected index refers to whatever I select within the list box. If I click on 10 of hearts, that will be my selected index. Now, a list box starts at -1. So -1 means nothing is selected. If I select something, it moves on to 0. So whenever something is selected, so it's not -1, I will refer back to show card, which is that first method of ours, and then list box 1. Nope, list box 1. You see, sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't, you know, which is fine. It's just like one of those things, you know. All right. Where were we? Show card dot selected item dot to string. Perfect. That's basically the hardest part. This is memorization. If you understand it, you know it. Nothing difficult. This just converts your selected item to a string. Nothing difficult about that. Now, of course, every if has an else. We do not want that. We want that. Yes. And then within the else, if nothing is selected, so if list box index is -1, it must give me an error, and this error will be please select, what shall we say, please select a card. Yes, a card from the list box. Perfect. No, not perfect. All right. And then that should be about it. Oh, it's not. We have our final method to finish. Now, because we have 3 other methods and we want to compare them, we will use a switch. And because it's a string card, the switch has to refer back to the card, and every switch has a case. Now, for case 1 refers to the first selected item, case 2 refers to the second selected item, case 3 refers to the third selected item. So now case ace of spades, which is the first one, will be, we call that method show ace spades. Just select this one. And you definitely want to break, otherwise your code will ignore you and continue to run without your permission. And this guy we call the 10 of hearts. Yes, we did. And we call this show, what did we call this guy? There we go. Referring to the method, break, perfect. Now, case show king club, let me just copy that one for now. And this guy was called king of clubs. And that's that, and we break it. Perfect. Now, that should be it. That's nothing difficult. Easy, it's fun. Let's run it, let's see what happens. Okay. Alright, so every time I click on king of clubs, 10 of hearts, ace of spades, voila, exit works. That's how you do it. Easy peasy, nothing difficult. Thank you for watching this video. Please do give a like and a share, and have a lovely programming day after.
И когда гадаешься, это непросто. Намеренно нас не провели звезды. Сегодня вылезло в убеги. От лукавого нас предостереги. По-видимому, пока не дорос.